Okay, so I get this question fairly often about the overhead press in relation to the handstand push-up, and it's usually phrased very vaguely like, what do you think about overhead press and handstand push-up? And I don't know if people mean to say whether the handstand push-up gives benefits for the overhead press, whether the overhead press gives benefits to the handstand push-up. I'm not going to answer that question because I don't think it's necessarily a clear-cut answer. I think, as always, it depends on the person, it depends on your goals, but I do want to talk about the differences between them, especially when it comes into skill and technique. So overhead press, whatever you want to call it, most people, if you're doing barbell, it's going to look something like this. You know, there's the arch back variations, right, like the old school military press. There are some variations that some people would say may help more for the handstand push-up, where you keep the weight in front. But generally, the way that I categorize an overhead press, it's more or less pure strength, whereas a handstand push-up is a strength skill, and I'll talk about the differences between those two later. But basically, an overhead press is pure strength because you already know how to stand pretty well, right? So the main factor is going to be whether or not your shoulders are strong enough to get the weight up. And if you're going to be using compensations, again, like arching the back, like the elbow rotation, especially with the dumbbells, you can get a little bit of rotation. You know, sometimes if you're going to get into push press territory, you can use the legs to help with that impetus. Those come more or less naturally to most people. I'm not saying there isn't technique involved. If you get into jerks, that's not really a press anymore. That's a lot more technique and timing. But for the most part, the main factor of why you can't lift a certain amount of weight in the overhead press is because you're not strong enough. Right? And the tracking of how the weight goes, it's not always going to be the same. It's not always going to be the same way. Sometimes you might get your head out of the way. You might kind of pull your chin. Maybe the arms stay close to the body like this, because if you're too far out here, you don't get as much leverage. So basically, there's no clear-cut path, but probably your body is going to find a path of least resistance. And that's going to be especially the case once you start lifting a weight that's very challenging for you. You're going to naturally find a way to try to mechanically make it easier. So the difference in a handstand push-up is, number one, unless you've been a hand balancer for a long time, you probably can't stand on your hands as well as on your feet. So balance is a factor. That's assuming you're freestanding. Being upside down is a factor because you don't have the same orientation, right? You can't orient yourself as well upside down. You can't see your body. You don't have as clear of a feeling of where your legs and the rest of your body are in space. And then this is where the technique gets a lot different, is that a military press you can do like this, but a handstand push-up, especially if you're doing freestanding and if you're doing those kind of variations, the head has to come out of the center, right? So when you're in your overhead press, your head is pretty much going to be always over your feet. However, when you do your handstand push-up, if you keep your head over your hands the whole time, you're going to get stuck. You're not going to be able to get very much depth. So what needs to happen in order to get a better depth, and also it helps to set the shoulders in a better position that gives you more stability, is that the head goes out of the vertical line. It goes away from the hands, and when that happens, the body leans. So it's not a straight up and down movement when you do a handstand push-up. It's actually a little bit like this. There's that little bit of lean. So what happens is you go here, the head comes out, and now that the head is out of the way, you can do this movement. So that's generally what the movement pattern is going to look like in a handstand push-up. Yeah, you can do it really hollow. You can have this arch back. I like to include a full shoulder opening like this typically when I teach it, but there are some people that kind of keep their shoulders closed and do it more like that. To me, that's not a full range. I like to see that opening and the arms vertical. But that's kind of skill-wise one of the main differences that you're going to see, is that tilt of the body, the shoulders going forward, and then in the handstand push-up, you're typically going to want to be pressed and protracted, so you get the lats and the pecs firing. And then, of course, when you're up, you're going to, elevate. Whereas in a military press, you might be a little bit arched. You might even be in retraction. Again, it depends. Typically, you're not going to see protracted military presses because it brings the weight forward. It kind of changes your posture a little bit. Typically, even when people press the weight up overhead, they're not going to be shrugging. It's still going to be in a depressed position, which is again very different than in a handstand, because typically in a handstand, you're going to be not necessarily pushing all the way up, but you do want to engage your traps at the top. So those are a couple more differences. And then the final difference, if it's not obvious already, even though you're lifting with your arms, let's say I weigh about 170, so if I'm lifting 170, if I'm lifting 170 of a military press, my total weight is that plus combined weight. So it's going to feel a lot more intense, because it's not just my body weight, it's now my body weight plus my body weight. There are these questions, right, of what's the carryover, and I'll talk about that in a little bit very soon. But essentially, the carryover, it's not always the same. And I've seen a lot of this, right? A lot of people who can military press huge amounts of weight can't even do one handstand push-up. And you're going to see people who are going to rep out handstand push-ups with ease that can't do a body weight military press. So that's kind of the question. Is it the same exercise? Mechanically, it's not. And technically it's not. And ultimately the handstand push-up, especially if you're doing freestanding, requires a lot more technique and focus and concentration, or rather a different kind. So, and getting back into what I said in the beginning, this idea of a pure strength movement versus a strength skill, like if you can't do a military press of a certain weight, it's probably because you're not strong enough. Most of the time, that's going to be the main factor. If you can't do a handstand push-up, it might be because you're not strong enough. It might be your angles, it might be your trajectory, it might be your positioning, it might be your balance, it might be your technique, and it might be your strength in combination with those things. So that's why I would call it a strength skill, because it is a heavy move. It does take a lot of strength to do. But the reason you're failing the skill, that's kind of what you have to ask yourself, is why am I failing? And the easiest answer would be because I'm not strong enough. And in a handstand push-up, it's not always the answer. A lot of times it is, because there is a lot of strength involved, but oftentimes it's not. It's about improving the technique and positioning and all those other things. So then here's another question. Should you be training military press or handstand push-up? Which one is better? Neither of them are better. And to me, even when I have trained them both, they feel like different exercises. So I've had moments where my military press was really strong and my handstand push-ups weren't that strong, and vice versa. So to me, they never felt the same. And I think, what's better, what's more functional, it depends on what your goals are. Like, what do you want to do more of? Right? If your goal is handstand push-up, I don't think military press is actually going to help you that much. I think if your goals are more towards calisthenics and handstand push-ups, and that's what you want to do more of, you're going to want to do something that directly reproduces or is a direct variation of the handstand push-up, whether that's pike push-up or frog stand or wall handstand push-ups. It's not that military press won't help you, it's that it's going to be marginal, because you're probably not going to follow the same pathway as you would in a handstand push-up if you were performing your military press. Will the strength help you? To some degree, but again, it's still not the same. And like I mentioned earlier, you can have a very strong overhead press and still not be strong at all in the handstand push-up, because the handstand push-up the technique is a lot more specific. Now, I do think there is more benefit the other way around. So I think if you're looking to improve your overhead press, I think you'll get benefit from adding in handstand push-ups, especially if you're heavier, right? If you're a strongman weightlifter and you're carrying a bit more weight, obviously the heavier you are, the harder the handstand push-ups and bodyweight exercises are going to be for you. But it's a good cross-training. I think there is more benefit in that path, in doing handstand push-up variations to bolster your overhead press compared to working overhead press to bolster your handstand push-up. Now, this is the other question I got is, I don't have a weight with me, so I'm going to use this water bottle. Okay, so typically overhead press, there's going to be different back movements, rotation, especially if you're doing one-arm overhead press. You have that side variation. There's a lot of things you can do to help you get the weight up that aren't pure, that won't work the same way in a handstand push-up. So you could take a drink while I'm here. You could do this variation. You could use a plate, or someone mentioned a Swiss bar. I have to look up what that was. Let's say you had the weight here and it stayed in front of you the whole time, and it was more front delt focused. So that's kind of like a more narrow variation of the overhead press. You're not going to be able to lift as much weight because you don't have the leverage. The weight is further away from you here. Will that help your handstand push-ups? It can be useful as a warm-up for some shoulder activation drills. I'm not saying don't do it, I'm not against it, but ultimately kind of people are looking for ways to get around just doing the thing. And it's like, the reality is, if you want to get better at handstand push-ups, do handstand push-ups. You can't do handstand push-ups? Okay, do pike push-ups, do frog stand lift-offs, do basically something that simulates the movement directly, where your hands are on the floor and your butt's up in the air. And I'm not saying don't do overhead press. I think, again, it can be helpful for pump, for different activation exercises, but ultimately, no matter how many overhead press variations you do, it's still not going to get you your handstand push-up, because the handstand push-up is a very specific thing. And to me, like I said, I've trained them both. They don't feel the same. The movement when you're doing it doesn't feel the same. The activation, the way you feel afterwards, it's just completely different. So I think they're both useful in their own way. I think you just have to kind of create a separation. And again, just to be clear, I am referring to the freestanding handstand variation, where the legs pass in front of the body and there's a tilt like this. If you do them with the back to the wall like this, I guess it's more similar to an overhead press. To me, that's not a very technical movement. That's just like for a shoulder pump. That might help you more for the military press, but ultimately, again, it's just, they're not the same exercise. This is my opinion, of course. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. This is just based on my perspective and experience. I found that direct handstand push-up work will lead to better handstand push-ups. If there are other coaches that say they've used the military press in their handstand push-up programming and it helped them and their clients, that's fantastic. I'm not trying to argue the point, I'm just giving my perspective on the matter. And then to finish off the video, just a short practical demo. So again, military press, typically if you look at it from the side, the bar is not going to be moving very far forward. It's going to stay more or less in a pretty upright path. And maybe your body is going to move slightly, but the bar is going to always stay close to your body, and all of the weight is going to be pretty vertically stacked. The difference in the handstand push-up is, again, the way I teach it is to actually initiate with a shoulder lean and then bend the elbows. When the elbows bend, you get this external rotation, and when that happens, I also teach a depression of the scapula and a protraction. So this is the position that we're going to be doing handstand push-ups in, with the forearms vertical, and the hand is actually pretty far from the shoulder. So when I'm at that 90-degree elbow angle, that's basically the most disadvantaged portion of the move. And with a heavier weight, if I had a barbell like this, it's really far away from me. It's not an efficient way to hold it. So that in terms of mechanics, that's kind of the main difference. And then of course, you have to do the balance, right? You have to feel where your legs are and all of that. So that actually takes handstand skill. So if you're not that skilled in handstands, that's also going to make it more difficult to learn a handstand push-up. And I'm just going to do a pike push-up right now, just to show you, like, this is typically what people want to do, is to just go up and down, and that's going to be, again, more similar to that military press movement, but that wouldn't work in an actual handstand. It would work if I hold your feet, but if you try to do that freestanding, you lose balance. Once you get so far down on your elbows like this, all the weight is going to dump back into the heel of your hand, and you're just going to fall back. You can't do it this way, a handstand push-up, unless your legs are actually over on the other side in a Mexican handstand, which is, it's pretty rough on the shoulders. I wouldn't necessarily recommend training that movement unless you're pretty advanced. So this is what we're looking for, and that's, so my arms are vertical, I lean, see how far away my shoulder is, and then I come back. So this versus this, and then all of these other factors. So those are kind of my thoughts on handstand push-up versus military press. The difference is, which one should you train? That's up to you. That's up to your goals. I think they both have different advantages. I don't think one is better than another. I think one is better for some situations, another is better for others. Some are going to impress, one is going to impress some people, another is going to impress different kinds of people. If you want to train them both, you can train them both. If you want to do cycles, work on handstand push-up for a couple months and work on lifting for a couple months, back and forth. Those are all options. You can do 1 day a week body weight strength, 1 day a week weights, where you include both. Or you could just stick with one. I think, like I said, both have their benefits, but ultimately they're different exercises. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it clarifies a couple points, hopefully makes you think about things a different way. I know I haven't put out a YouTube video in a while. It's because I moved across the country from Las Vegas to Tennessee. I'm getting the new place set up. I don't have internet yet. Waiting for the internet lines to actually get built up to the house, but I'm gonna start making more content, so let me know if there's anything particular that you want to see. And if you're interested in supporting me financially, I have my ebook Balancing the Equation. I released a new product called the Physical Philosophy Compendium, which is actually 24 hours of instructional footage on 16 different skills, along with an ebook write-up. I'm available for workshops and all of that, so if you're interested in setting something up at your gym, you can contact me directly. But other than that, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff.